So today we're going to dive into how the TISAX security standard can take your human resources department and turn it from just an administrative team into, honestly, your company's most important line of defense. Just think about that for a second. We all spend a fortune on digital firewalls, fancy encryption, you name it. But what if the biggest threat isn't in your code, but walking down your corridor? Well, this whole explainer is about that human element. Okay, first, let's get on the same page. What is TISAX? In short, it's a security framework that's huge in the auto industry. Its whole job is to make sure sensitive info is kept safe across the entire supply chain. And yeah, that covers everything from IT to the topic of the day, people.
And this right here, this is the big idea. You see, TISAX doesn't look at your employees as the weakest link, not at all. Instead, it gives you a blueprint to turn your entire team into what you could call a human firewall, one that's proactive and security savvy. It's a complete change in how you think about security.
So how do we actually build this firewall? We're going to walk through 4 key stages. We'll look at what happens before day 1, how to set the rules of the game, what to do about security when people are working outside the office, and finally, why the goal is to make your team your absolute strongest link. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Even before a new employee, we'll call him Alex, gets his job offer, the foundation for our human firewall is actually laid way back in the hiring process. This isn't just about finding someone who's good at their job. It's about finding someone you can actually trust with your company's secrets. And that really boils it all down, doesn't it? This is the core goal of these first HR controls. Before you give anyone the keys to the kingdom, you've got to be sure they're not only competent, but also reliable and trustworthy. And TISAX is pretty specific about how you do this. It starts with the basics. Check their official ID, make sure they are who they say they are. Next, you assess if they're a good fit through a solid interview. But for roles with access to really sensitive stuff, you've got to go deeper. We're talking reference checks, verifying diplomas, and even background checks. It's all about building trust, layer by layer. Okay, so Alex passed all the checks. He's got the job. Awesome. But we're not done building that firewall. Now it's time to lay down the official rules of the game.
And this happens right in the employment contract. TISAX says that Alex and every other employee has to contractually agree to a few key things. First, a strict non-disclosure, to protect company secrets. Second, a promise to follow all the security rules. And third, they have to understand what happens if they break those rules. It's about making security a formal, official part of the job from the get-go.
But let's be honest, a signature on a contract has never stopped a phishing email. The legal stuff is the foundation, for sure, but the real protection, that comes from knowledge. You have to actually train your human firewall. So on day 1, Alex gets security awareness training. And this isn't just a 5-minute chat. TISAX lays out the minimum topics everyone needs to be trained on. Things like the company's main security policy, what to do if you think you've got malware, how to create good passwords, and maybe most importantly, who you're supposed to call when you're just not sure about something. So, Alex is now a part of the team, he's up and running, but let's face it, work doesn't just happen in the office anymore. So what happens when Alex takes his laptop to a coffee shop or works from home for the day? And this is where things get tricky, right? The office is a controlled space. You have a secure network, you have physical security, but the moment you walk outside, the risks just multiply. Suddenly you're dealing with public Wi-Fi, the chance of your laptop getting stolen, or even just somebody peeking over your shoulder. So this is where the human firewall really gets tested. TISAX demands that you have clear rules for mobile work. That means always using a secure connection, like a VPN. It means being aware of who's around you to prevent snooping or theft, and it means having special protocols when you're traveling, especially to places that might be a bit higher risk. Okay, so we've followed Alex all the way from his job application to working on the move. We've seen how TISAX weaves security into every single step of his journey. And all of this leads us to one really powerful conclusion. Look, this whole process isn't about creating a workplace built on suspicion or control. It's actually the complete opposite. It's about empowering every single person with the knowledge and the tools they need to become a defender of the company's data. It's about building a shared culture where everyone feels responsible for security. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about for your own company. When you look at your team, do you see a potential risk, or do you see your first line of defense? Is your human firewall a solid wall of trained, aware, and empowered people?
Or is it more like a chain link fence, just full of holes?